Well, good morning, and welcome to the Daniel Sauls Show, where you will witness sports talk and debate from yours truly, Daniel Sauls. Well, there's nothing else left for me to say, so let's get started! Woo! A lot of stuff happening in the sports world after this week, but I know a lot of Cowboy fans aren't going to be happy with this question. Are the Cowboys still Super Bowl contenders after that 42-10 loss to the 49ers? Well, the answer is no. They're not. I made a video a week ago talking about, is this the Cowboys season? Could this be their season? And I said yes. I changed my mind. This is not their season. The 49ers are the most overrated team in the NFL. And they got completely exposed by that team. Okay? The top 5 teams in the NFL right now, I'm going to give you those. And I'm going to tell you why the Cowboys aren't in the top 5 teams in the NFL, which means they're not a Super Bowl contender if they're not even in the top 5. Okay? Well, number 5 are the Dolphins. Number 4 are the Bills. Number 3 is the 49ers. 2 is the Eagles. And number 1 is the Chiefs. Yeah, you're right. Travis Kelce got injured. Okay, so we got to see what they can do. But just remember, they have the greatest player in the league right now, and that's Patrick Mahomes. So, without a doubt, they're the best team in the NFL. Okay? So, I don't think that anybody could beat them. If you seriously put them A game versus A game, they cannot beat the Chiefs. Nobody in the league can. The Dolphins are very formidable. So are the Bills. They had a game, and you know the Bills obviously beat them. But then the Bills lost to the Jaguars. But I can't put the Dolphins above the Bills just because the Bills did expose them in a sense. So I can't do that. But definitely the Bills are above the Dolphins for now. And then the 49ers are number 3. I got to give them kudos and credit for what they did. Obviously beating the Cowboys. But I'm going to get into depth of why I feel like the Cowboys have no excuses. Because, yes, they lost Trayvon Diggs, okay? But that's not a big enough, deal. That's not a big enough, thing. That's not something you can make up, right? I mean, that doesn't make up for this loss. It just doesn't. One player doesn't make that big of a difference. There's no way. Trayvon Diggs was formidable. He is one of the best players on their team. He is a top 2 or 3 defensive player on their team, and he is the best player in their secondary. But yeah, they did let up a lot of points, 42, but they still would have scored a good amount of points even if Trayvon was on the field. So either way, Trayvon wouldn't have made them win or lose in this situation. So that's definitely not something you can say if you're a Cowboys fan or just somebody that supports the Cowboys or anybody that believes that the Cowboys, that you're going to give them a little bit of leeway. You can't because Trayvon is not that big of an impact when it comes to this team. Dak Prescott threw 3 interceptions this game. No excuses. He threw 3. That's not great at all. That's terrible. 3 picks. I made a video a month ago talking about Dak Prescott. And if this is his last season as a Cowboy. And I said it was. And that the only way that he would, potentially not be, leaving after the season because Jerry Jones would kick him off is if he got them to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. They're not going there. They're just not because you still have the Eagles and the 49ers in the NFC and you can't forget about some other teams too. You just can't. The Cowboys aren't even in the top 3 in the conference. I don't know what to say at this point. But Dak threw 3 picks, which is what he does best. And the Cowboys offense couldn't get into a rhythm at all. They were never really in a rhythm. They had 1 good touchdown, and then obviously they had a field goal. But, they never really got into a groove where they can, they can actually be consistent. They were never in that rhythm. And their defense couldn't even stop a 49ers offense when Christian McCaffrey wasn't even playing great. That's ridiculous. In spite of McCaffrey not having a good game, the Cowboys still couldn't manage to beat them. Okay? And I've said this plenty of times. The 49ers are not a great team. The 49ers are Christian McCaffrey, they are Kyle Shanahan, okay, and they're Nick Bosa. That's the team. You have a good player in George Kittle. You have a good player in Ayuk. You have a good player in Debo. And Brock Purdy's the most overrated quarterback in the league. And the most overrated player in the league. So, that right there just says it all. McCaffrey didn't play well and they still got exposed. The Cowboys don't deserve to be even in the top 10 teams in the league right now after that terrible performance. Just horrific. Okay? I don't know what it'll be like if they play the Eagles because, like I said, they got exposed by the 49ers. They just got exposed. They couldn't stop them. They couldn't get in a rhythm on offense. Nothing. It seemed like the 49ers played the most perfect game ever. And then the physicality was on a whole nother level for the 49ers. They played so physical, you have to give the 49ers credit because they played physical. They played dominant football. They played 100% all together. They played as a team, and they played right. And you know what? You got to give them love and respect because they beat a good Cowboys team that was probably the most overrated team in the league in the past 4 weeks. So you got to give them credit. You just have to. And that's really all I have to say for you today, folks. I'm Daniel Sauls, the host of The Daniel Sauls Show, and I'll be back with another video for y'all guys very soon. Peace out.